Okay, the question today is, does Reddit's RSAT subreddit have a UWorld/College Board bias? Answer, yes it does. Yes it does, you may have guessed, but I'm here to confirm it in person officially. You may be surprised to know that many subreddits have bias. Let's start with first things first. One of the most senior moderators, his username is Donald Keyman, but he's admitted that that's a pseudonym, right? That's an alt, whatever you want to call it. That Donald Keyman works and has worked for UWorld for the past 5 or 6 years. He's not a very active moderator these days. I think the moderator team has basically forced him to be dormant or silent, but they have kept him on the moderation team. And if you go back into the history of Reddit, his plugging of UWorld was much more blatant. They've definitely tampered down on it. But in the old days, free giveaways, win a free subscription to UWorld. Anyone who uses the Reddit code can get free UWorld for a month. All sorts of suspicious and morally ambiguous approaches to promoting the company through the subreddit, right? And if you check, Rule 5 of the Moderator Code of Conduct, it does make it quite clear that these actions are not allowed. But, as they say, there is the law and then there is what is done. So there are the rules of Reddit and there are the rules that they actually enforce. And they don't seem to care about Mr. Keyman openly admitting that he works for UWorld. The most egregious example in his time as moderator was when they published a survey. They called it a survey, a wide-ranging survey or something absurd like that, that actually had a grand total of maybe 16 or 17 responses. And, hey, lo and behold, UWorld was rated as the #1 test prep resource above, Khan Academy and private tutors and everything else. One big problem, the study was administered by an admitted UWorld employee, and the sample size was pathetically small, and this was at a time when the moderator was giving out free UWorld memberships to anyone on the RSAT subreddit. So come on now. Is there a UWorld bias on RSAT? Yes, of course there is. Is there a College Board bias? That's a more complicated and interesting question. Is there a College Board bias on RSAT? Well, among the moderation team, there's nobody who's blatantly a College Board defender. You got internationalist Gam, who's mostly competent, but clearly combative at times. You got PR Segal, who's, really has no idea what he's talking about. You got... Donald Keyman, who we already talked about. And then you've got some other, semi-competent people. It kind of reminds me of the Supreme Court. You've got some people trying their best and other people trying their best to sabotage, right? What else can I say about RSAT? Not only is the moderation team problematic, but some of the power users. In particular, one power user in particular, his name is Rich. His username is Rich in Pitt, RICHINPITT. Please check this man's user history. First of all, he does nothing but post on Reddit all day long. Stereotypical Reddit basement dweller. This guy is commenting roughly 80 to 100 times a day on various SAT, ACT, college subreddits. Second of all, if you check his post history, he is very suspiciously a staunch defender of the College Board. He parrots every College Board talking point to a T. The College Board has done nothing wrong. They're always trying their best. You know, it's a big mess. Where did my background go? It disappeared. Interesting. I wonder if that was for me to make a serious point. Well, my background is gone. My point is made. Yes, there is a UWorld bias on RSAT. Yes, there is a College Board bias on RSAT. Watch out for Rich and Pitt, the College Board apologist. Do not trust his opinions. And, you know, like anything else on the internet, do your research far and wide. Trust your sources. Be skeptical. Be a critical thinker. You know, be aware that almost every source comes with its own bias, including RSAT.